Well, well, well. Look what the cat dragged in, sneered Reginald Vanderbilt III, CEO of Vanderbilt Industries, as I stepped into the mahogany-paneled boardroom. Another bright-eyed, bushy-tailed executive assistant. How precious. His cronies chuckled, their eyes raking over my TJ Maxx blazer and Payless pumps with thinly veiled disdain. I fought the urge to shrink under their scrutiny, to smooth my discount skirt and check my teeth for lipstick. No, I refused to cower before these pompous windbags, these silver spoon-sucking relics who thought they could intimidate me with their bespoke suits and their Ivy League degrees. They had no idea who they were dealing with. No idea the trump card I held up my sleeve. By lunchtime, they'd be choking on their foie gras and calling me ma'am. Or more accurately, boss. Because little did they know, I wasn't some wide-eyed ingenue here to fetch coffee and take dictation. I was Sabrina Hawthorne, the new majority shareholder of Vanderbilt Industries. And I was about to stage a coup these country club clowns would never see coming. But first, I had to play my role. The dutiful assistant, the humble servant, the underestimated underling. I pasted on my best golly gee smile and bobbed my head in a deferential nod. Thank you for the warm welcome, Mr. Vanderbilt. I'm so thrilled to join the team and learn from such an esteemed group of business leaders. I promise I won't let you down. Vanderbilt waved a dismissive hand, already bored. Yes, yes, I'm sure you'll do your best. Now run along and fetch us some coffee, would you, doll? Cream and sugar for me, black for the rest of the boys. I gritted my teeth so hard my jaw ached. Right away, sir. Cream and sugar for you, black for the rest. Got it. As I scurried out, I heard them snickering behind me. Vanderbilt, you old dog, chortled one of the interchangeable suits. Where do you find these dewy-eyed country mice? She looks fresh off the turnip truck. Oh, you know me, Wentworth. I am young, dumb, and grateful. Makes for a much more pliable workforce if you catch my drift. More guffaws, the clink of expensive crystal tumblers. My stomach churned with revulsion, but I kept my bland smile firmly in place. Let them laugh while they could. Let them underestimate the country mouse in the cheap shoes. They'd be singing a different tune once I made my move. Once I revealed the ace I'd been hiding, the secret weapon I'd spent years cultivating under their upturned noses. You see, while Vanderbilt and his merry band of misogynists were busy guzzling scotch and groping secretaries, I'd been quietly amassing shares in their precious company. Biding my time, building alliances, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And that moment had finally arrived. The moment I'd been dreaming of since I started in the Vanderbilt Industries mailroom a decade ago, fresh out of state school with a shiny new business degree and a chip on my shoulder the size of Texas. I'd seen firsthand how the other half lived, the trust fund brats and legacy admits who waltzed into corner offices right out of their Ivy League playgrounds, who looked at someone like me, with my public school pedigree and my secondhand blazers, and saw nothing but a prop in their power plays, an extra in the movie of their lives. Well, this extra was about to steal the spotlight, to rewrite the script they'd cast me in and claim her rightful place at the top of the call sheet. All I had to do was play my part a little longer, to shuffle papers and fetch coffee and endure their patronizing smiles, all while the trap I'd set lay in wait, ready to spring at my command. So I delivered their drinks and took their lunch orders, I answered phones and filed paperwork, I fetched and carried and yes sir, ed until my teeth ached from all the smiling. And all the while, the clock ticked down, the minutes winding inexorably closer to the hour of my triumph. When the boardroom doors finally closed for the quarterly shareholders' meeting, I was ready. I straightened my threadbare blazer, tucked a wayward strand of hair behind my ear, and strode into the lion's den with my head held high. Vanderbilt barely glanced up from his leather-bound dossier as I slipped into the room. Miss Hawkins, was it? What are you doing here? This is a closed meeting. It's Hawthorne, actually, I said coolly, relishing the flicker of irritation on his patrician face. Sabrina Hawthorne. And I'm not here as your assistant, Reginald. His brow furrowed at my insolent tone. I beg your pardon? You forget yourself, Miss Hawkins. You may be new, but that doesn't give you license to dash. Oh, I'm not new, Reggie, old boy. I've been here for 10 years, watching you and your pals run this company into the ground with your good old boy networks and your 3 martini lunches. Watching you squander the potential of your employees, the ones without the right pedigree or the right plumbing. The ones like me. A vein throbbed in Vanderbilt's temple, his face reddening like an heirloom beet. Now see here, you impertinent little dash. No, you see here, Vanderbilt. I cut him off with a slash of my hand, my voice ringing through the room like a gunshot. I'm not here to fetch and file and flutter my lashes while you and your cronies plot your next round of layoffs and outsourcing. I'm here to tell you that your reign as CEO has come to an end. Effective immediately. Stunned silence. Then, a burst of incredulous laughter. Is this a joke? Wheezed Wentworth, mopping his brow with a monogrammed handkerchief. Vanderbilt, where did you find this girl? She's got moxie, I'll give her that. But Vanderbilt wasn't laughing. He was staring at me with narrowed eyes, a glimmer of unease in his flinty gaze. What exactly are you playing at, Miss Hawthorne? If you think you can waltz in here and make wild accusations with impunity, you're sorely mistaken. I'll have you escorted out by security and blacklisted from every firm in the city. I smiled, slow and dangerous. Oh, I don't think so, Reggie. You see, I'm not some lowly peon you can bully and browbeat into submission. Not anymore. I reached into my cheap briefcase and pulled out a sheaf of papers, crisp and official-looking. I'm afraid you've underestimated me, gentlemen. A fatal mistake in business, and in life. With a flourish, I slapped the papers down on the gleaming conference table. As of 9 a.m. this morning, I am the majority shareholder of Vanderbilt Industries. 51% of the stock belongs to me. Which means, I leaned forward, my smile sharpening to a blade. I own this company now. And my first act as owner is to relieve you, Reginald Vanderbilt III, of your duties as CEO. Effective immediately. The room erupted in chaos. Shouts of disbelief, a choked gurgle from Vanderbilt that may have been an aborted heart attack. I watched it all with a sort of detached amusement, my calm unruffled in the eye of the storm. When the dust settled, Vanderbilt was gaping at me like a landed trout, his jowls quivering with rage. This is preposterous. Those shares were split between a dozen holding companies, 100 different proxies. How did you? It's not possible. Oh, but it is. I examined my nails with an air of studied nonchalance. You see, while you were busy golfing and groping, I was busy making friends, building alliances, convincing your shareholders that they'd be better served by a leader who actually gave a damn about the company, not just their own bottom line. I met his gaze, my own unflinching. It's called playing the long game, Vanderbilt. Something you'd know nothing about, with your quarterly profits and your golden parachutes. But then, you've never had to fight for anything in your life, have you? Never had to claw your way up from nothing, to work twice as hard for half the recognition. My voice hardened, taking on a steel-edged resolve. Well, I have. I've fought and scraped and hustled my way to this moment. And now it's my turn to call the shots. My turn to shape this company into something I can be proud of. Something that values merit over pedigree, grit over privilege. I turned to face the rest of the board, their faces a mix of shock, outrage, and grudging respect. Gentlemen, there's going to be some changes around here. Starting with a long overdue house cleaning of the old guard. The ones who've gotten fat off the backs of their underlings, who've coasted on their daddy's coattails and their granddaddy's reputation. I let my gaze linger on each of them in turn, watching them shrink and squirm like worms on a hook. If you can't get with the new program, if you can't adapt to a Vanderbilt Industries that rewards hard work and innovation over nepotism and ass-kissing, well, there's the door. Don't let it hit you on that well-cushioned rump on your way out. Wentworth sputtered, his jowls quivering like jelly on a plate. Now see here, young lady. You can't just barge in and upend decades of tradition. Who do you think you are? I smiled, razor-sharp. Who am I? I'm Sabrina fucking Hawthorne, that's who. The girl from the wrong side of the tracks who clawed her way to the top through sheer grit and determination. The country mouse, who played your game better than you ever could. And now I'm the boss. I let that sink in, savoring their slack jaws and bulging eyes. So you've got two choices, gentlemen. Adapt or get out of my way. Because this company is going to the next level with or without you. And something tells me you don't want to be left behind. I paused, letting the tension build. Then I clapped my hands briskly, making them jump. Well then, if there are no further objections, I believe we have a shareholders' meeting to conduct. The first order of business, a vote of no confidence in our esteemed former CEO. I turned to Vanderbilt with a poisonous smile. All in favor of Reginald's removal and my appointment as Chief Executive Officer, say aye. A beat of stunned silence. Then a chorus of ayes, some grudging, some gleeful, rang out through the room. I nodded, satisfied. The ayes have it. Reginald, don't let the door hit you on the way out. The rest of you, welcome to the new Vanderbilt Industries. It's going to be a hell of a ride. As I watched Vanderbilt storm out, his face puce with rage, I felt a thrill of triumph sing through my veins. I'd done it. I'd staged the coup of the century right under their upturned noses. I'd proven that grit and guts could trump privilege and pedigree any day of the week. And I was just getting started. Vanderbilt Industries would never be the same. I would make damn sure of that. I would drag this company kicking and screaming into the 21st century, weed out the dead wood and cultivate the hidden talents. I would create a true meritocracy, a place where anyone with drive and vision could rise to the top, regardless of background or breeding. And I would do it all while rocking a killer pair of stilettos and a take-no-prisoners attitude. Because that's just how Sabrina Hawthorne rolled. As I settled into the plush leather of Vanderbilt's No. executive chair, I allowed myself a moment of giddy disbelief. The girl from the trailer park, the night school grad with the third-hand blazer, was now calling the shots at one of the most prestigious firms in the country. If that wasn't the ultimate revenge fantasy, I didn't know what was. But I couldn't rest on my laurels. I had a company to run, an empire to build. And I wouldn't stop until Vanderbilt Industries was the gold standard for ethical, innovative, ass-kicking business practices. Buckle up, boys. There's a new sheriff in town. And her name is Sabrina fucking Hawthorne.